going on, everybody, and welcome back for a new video. This right here is the Y180 efficiency nuke, and I'm quickly gonna go over some questions that I had. People are asking why the platform is that, and that is Y180 if it's a 180 stacker, and if it's a 160, it's built at a Y160, so on and so on all the way up. That way we can keep it on a nice level, so we know it will work every time. Also, people have been complaining about the sand compression not working, sand getting stuck. And time after time, you guys forgot about these repeaters right here. And it's not really anyone to blame, because normally you would do the platform first, and then you'll do the cannon, and that way you're going to miss out these repeaters right here. So just make sure these repeaters are right here whenever you start doing it. Now, let's go ahead and fire this cannon out. There we go. And let's go to the bedrock right here. It's not too, it's kind of, okay, I forgot to fill the cannon properly. Yep, I forgot to fill it. Don't worry guys, I'll fix that. Is there a mess in here as well? No. Okay, yeah, so I started to clear the inventories of the dispensers whenever I take a schematic of it, because then you don't always get those dispensers that is yellowish when you print it in. It doesn't really mean anything, but I'm pretty sure it's because there's something to do with when you fill the dispensers, and then sometimes it fucks up in the schematic. Now let's go ahead and stack this up again. And it's possible to do in this because it's a one push, meaning that we have these two pistons here pushing out this line right here, and then this piston right here is what opens and closes for the sand. Since there's only one piston, then we can close them up and whenever we want without having any problems. But let's go ahead and go straight into it. Let's do this one more time. Let's go ahead and fire the cannon and go to the bedrock wall pillar-ish that is right here. As you can see, it's a full nuke. It does leave a few blocks down there. Let me go ahead and take a look at it, how many. I'm pretty sure it's only 2. So it's 3 blocks, not too bad. Now you could have fixed that. You can either add a little bit more nuke, or you could add a little bit more hammer down. This right here is just, if I wanted to get rid of them, I would probably add some more second hammer down. And if I were to do that, I would need to extend my hammer by 1. And that's not really necessary for 3 blocks. We'd rather have it this size right here, so you guys have a little smaller cannon, a Y180 that's a little bit smaller. But now go back to the sand compression. We do have this one push here, as I told you, that we have these pistons here. Basically what they do is pushing this right out here after all of the sand have fallen in. Then this one pushes it out right here and pushes it one more out, so it gets all the way out here actually. And that way it pushes it out in one tick, and hopefully that is faster and better on your server. At least that's my experience. Most servers, the one push works better than any others. I don't know if it's because there's a piston limit or if there's a comparator pulse limit. Not really sure why, but it just seems to work a little bit better every time. Let's go ahead and press the button one more time here. Now it can go quite far. It can go at least 27 chunks. And of course, nobody says that you have to use this amount of power. This is more like a showcase. This right here can go really, really far. Let me count how many that actually is. So we do have a lot of dispensers here, and again, you don't have to use all of them. You can use less if you want to go for only 20 chunks. There you go, 338 blocks. So of course, that's kind of a huge amount. You don't really need all that. If you're going to shoot 20 chunks, you don't need that at all. So there's just a little reminder. This right here is a showcase. Over here we have the slab bust. I choose to make it like this, a big slab bust, because normally when people are using nukes at people's wall, a good way to stop efficiency nukes, or nukes in general, so you don't nuke as much at least. There's not really any possible way to do that, to actually stop the nuke from happening. What you can do is you can add a lot of slabs down there at the bottom of every wall. That way it will kind of stop them from doing their nuke and even stacking. And it's probably going to take 2 shots per wall. So that's one way to stop nuke cannons. But with this huge ass slab boss right here, it shouldn't really be a problem. You can take a lot of slabs doing this. So hopefully it's not going to be a problem for you guys either. Over here we can change the ticks for the hammer down. Now I do suggest you change this one over here. Not for any particular reason, it works just fine over here, but you want to change this one because you want to change this one right here. You don't want to change that one. You want to change this one. So that one and this one over here, to keep an order, of course. You change those two, but just don't mess with this right here, because then you're gonna mess with the timings for the sand, and that is gonna interrupt with the efficiency nuke. And that gets me to my next subject. Lots of people ask me how all this efficiency nuke works. So over here we have our what we call a second hammer. I don't know if you've been following along with my other nukes, but this is basically the same. So we are using this second hammer. Now we're not double pulsing our hammer. We're not doing that, but we're basically doing similar the same thing. And of course it's order of entities. So it's basically the same thing, but just a lot more TNT efficient. So we have the second hammer right here. We have the nuke over here. The nuke right here is basically what nukes the entire thing down, and this right hammer right here is what fires it down, the nuke down. So people have asked me why the nuke doesn't explode or follows the sand down, because it's under the same guider. So let's go ahead and take it out right here. So we have the nuke right here, we have the hammer right here, and then of course we have sand and whatsoever down here as well. Then of course we have the second hammer inside this block here as well. Let me actually put it up here so it's a little bit understanding. So the nuke right here should potentially, and it's what I see, people make mistakes of this all the time, that the nuke should be going down with the first hammer when that blows up. This nuke here should be followed down and end up down there at the bottom or something similar like that. But it doesn't, because we are using the order of entities, meaning whatever we activate first kind of stacks first or explodes first. And in this case, we are going to have all the sand we need to stack fully up. We're going to have that falling down to the cobwebs before the nukes go off, and that's exactly how it works. Now, also, something I see all the time people do is a mistake that people commonly do, mostly when I'm asked to help with a cannon. I see this a lot. What people do is that they do not count, or they do count the one push sand, which is coming, this one right here. The problem with that is that this sand right here is getting pushed out in the last second, meaning like just before this down here explodes, this one pushes it out. So of course you cannot count these sand right here. So 9 on this side, 9 on this side is 18. So at 18 of this sand right here is useless, meaning you need 18 more sand stacked. If you count your sand right here, it's cobwebs right here, and then count it right here with cobwebs, you'll see that you're gonna need 18 more sand than necessary, meaning 180 plus 18. In that case, you'll always know that it's gonna work perfectly. And if it still goes down, just put some more delay onto the nuke, because that's probably your issue. But let's go ahead and press it one more time actually, and it'll be able to give a little bit, see what's going on, and see what I mean right here with the order of entities. So you can see right there, you see how it's stacked, and there was these two pieces of TNT next to each other. Of course it lighted it up, but it's basically what happened is that this right here you saw down there, that was the nuke. This one up here was the second hammer down, because in the first shot, or in the same, but what happens first is that it stacks it, and you'll see that in the first hammer down, it almost immediately stacks it, like that, and then you see shortly there's two TNT right here, one on top, one under it, and that is the nuke part. And because we're using order of entities, it's possible to keep the nuke right under the second hammer without it going down. This is also helpful. Other than that, there's not really much more into this cannon here. I do want to tell you that there is a TNT reliner right here, so make sure you fill that up. And as well as filling up the entire cannon, I see this so many times that people fill half the cannon, and of course that's not really going to work. So just make sure that you fill the entire cannon whenever you're filling. And also remember these small spots right here, in here for an example. Sometimes some of it might blow up. Just remember to water it right here, as well as in here. Remember to water the TNT reliner if it doesn't flow down there itself, as well as right here where the pistons is and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure you got that under control. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video here. And if you do enjoy it, remember to like this video here and comment down below if you have any suggestions, questions, whatsoever, guys. And as always, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Sexter, and I'm out.